This gentleman called for pain and general weakness. Paramedics, when they assessed him, found his blood pressure to be low. So they started an IV, and they're giving him some IV fluids to increase his blood pressure. He'll be going down to the hospital to figure out why his blood pressure is down and what's causing his illness. But the stabilization care is happening as we speak.
When somebody watches this video, I want them to speak well of EMS and the public. I would like for them to talk to their neighbors about the problems in the EMS system and talk well about paying a nominal fee so that we can continue to do the things that we're doing.
When you put your heart and soul into serving your community, you want it to make an impact. What does it take to get there? What does it take to be an EMS professional? This is a deep dive into the people who respond to your community.
Everybody with compassion. That's the whole part of a job, is an EMT basic that I've learned over the last 7 years, that if you have a love for another person and you want the best way to show it, my job is 98% talking to people through their worst times.
EMS systems around Allegheny County are struggling for people. That's about a 75% reduction in services providing emergency medical response in Allegheny County. And the 33 remaining services are picking up the pieces for all of the missing ambulances and personnel that used to be there.
But it's an exciting time too, because things are changing, not just on the protocol side and the care side, but as far as like rebuilding a system, like it'd be exciting it's exciting for me to be here, knowing that like for future generations, like we could be those trendsetters.
Character of the people that I work with, I'm continually inspired by. They always put others before themselves. They're not afraid to sacrifice their own time, their own money to be better at their jobs, sacrifice their lives in some situations. Committed, compassionate, and talented people to work with.
It's the best job in the world. I mean, you come in, you're basically with family. I mean, everybody here is like family. You hang out, you get your work done, but it doesn't feel like work because you're hanging out with people. There's music playing, you're having a good time.
If the EMS system goes away or even doesn't get the funding and struggles, then there's a delay in response. There's less training for the folks that are working in the system. There's less folks working in the system, and then eventually there's nobody to respond.
And within 10 minutes, it was pretty cool to see the rhythm change. You could see it go from AFib, it would break into a normal sinus for 3 seconds and then kick right back into the AFib. And then it just jumped right. I have the transition where it went from and then it was actually really cool to see. She's like, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I was like, I can only imagine why. Like, your heart is now happy. You're really able to help people in situations like this that you wouldn't be able to do without the proper training. Especially like last night, seeing that lady come into the ER with symptoms and being able to fix her with the training that we have was awesome. Because she was admitted overnight and discharged first thing this morning. So she's back home with her husband.
So when you think about what it costs to run a state-of-the-art EMS system, Ross Westview EMS has a 40-year history of being the best of the best. Well known across the state, always training, always clinically challenging our crews, making our paramedics do the best that they can possibly do on every single call. Our equipment is the state-of-the-art equipment that we can possibly afford. Unfortunately, as our revenue dries up, so does our ability to replace those items. Our fleet is aging and rusting, and mileage is higher than it ever has been. And while we're still doing incredible clinical things, we're struggling to do that with the best equipment. That's not normal for us. We want to continue to provide that high quality care and the best equipment we possibly can.